So, let's get started. Where we left off, you guys are in a tavern in High Rock with Hacken and Flavius. Your goal is to return to the Imperial City and make battle with Crowlius. What you know is he has developed a spell that permits vampires to remain undetectable by normal magical means. It says undetectable, but if you cast Detect Life, the vampires now show up as Detect Life. And so they are unable to use that. Should he be able to perpetuate this info to his clan, that would allow the vampires to infiltrate all sorts of offices without interference. It is known that he is involved in a plot that is attempting to undermine the Emperor Titus Mede. Your mission, as given, is to kill him. So, you guys finish up your shopping, all done off stream. 10 out of 10, Lady Jenna Buart. You have been informed your art is 10 out of 10.
Yay.
She has said yay. She appreciates the compliments. That's all we give her. We don't pay her. We don't feed her. We water her on occasion. But then we just chuck compliments across the room. It's kept her alive so far. So you guys head out across the previous Spriggan and Beast infested woods. Now back to the normal sounds of nature. I'm not sure why I put that after. You go through the woods as you begin your multi-day journey following the path that you guys had followed to here. So you guys are crossing back down into Hammerfell. You reach the Rothgar Mountains and begin your arduous climb up. Passing through, you guys are able to see the various forests and mountaintops. And you return to Elahir. Elahir? I think it's Elahir. We'll go with Elahir. While there, you guys are able to spend a day or two just recollecting yourselves, resupplying. And it is here that Hacken informs you that he will be leaving off. He has no ability that he would be able to offer for your coming battle. Instead, he is going to continue his trading, and with a nod to Flavius, there's always going to be a contact that is maintained for the Blades in Hammerfell. So with that said, you head out, bound for the mountains that separate High Rock from Cyrodiil. And it isn't long before, well, I say it isn't long, about a couple days travel, and you guys see yourselves staring down at the Imperial City. Under Flavius's watch, you guys are secreted in through tunnels that lead under the city and come up just behind the flask. You guys loop around, head in, and Flavius walks you down to the basement, where you guys have held meetings for ages upon ages. You see him just kind of looking over at you guys. This is your final mission. Win or lose, the Emperor can only put so much into the hands of one company. After you're done here, you'll be able to come by, speak with the bartender, collect your money, and be on your ways. In the meantime, you see him reach into one of the cupboards that is here that appears to have a false back. Ah, good. They left it here as had been requested. He pulls out Kayleen's ancestors' shield and sword. Though imperial in nature, it's clear that they had been mixed with ebony, providing a steel that is far safer, sturdier, and sharper than any normal weapon. I assume you'll be wanting these back. He hands them over. They've been freshly restored by the Imperial Smiths. They will serve you well in the battle to come. For the remainder of you, you see a round of drinks has been set up. He holds up his drink to the successes you've had. You've done more for the Emperor thus far than most citizens could ever hope to. It has been my pleasure to have known you. But, as he sets his drink down, it is time for us to discuss your final move. What do you need to know from me regarding Crowlius? Zolf, the High Elf, looks over the blade. It's a marvel to behold. Not Dominion craftsmanship, to be fair, but indeed very well crafted. Katya begins just to sniff at what appears to be some sort of grain liquor that has been brought from elsewhere. The cat just dipping her paw in and just cleaning it off, and just a shiver of happiness going down the kitty spine. What information could be gathered about his magical affinity? Well, as you know, he's a master of alteration and destruction. Beyond that, his skills seem to be he knows the basics in the remaining schools. As for tips, what intelligence has led me to believe is he has shut himself into the academy and hasn't been seen out in some time. In all likelihood, he knows we're coming for him and is limiting his exposure, forcing us to go to him. But that is where you all come in. The task isn't going to be easy. I'd be lying if I said it was. But what I can guarantee you is that he will not be receiving any extra help once you've gotten inside. We'll be able to use our forces to set up a cordon around the academy. Unofficial, of course, but needlessly it will be effective. Sneaking will be involved. If you are able to bypass the locks that he has set up, they will be difficult locks, but if you can bypass them, there is a possibility of getting in through the apprentices' chambers. Such a path would involve, well, stealth, but also the ability to bypass that through stealth, because if he hears you fiddling with the lock, or you attempt to batter down the secure door, he'll be able to use his spells on you without your ability to fight back. He can detect life? He can. Your best bet is to not give him the opportunity or incentive to use that spell. Traps? Anything we should expect? Probably magical elemental mines, Kayleen muses. Flavius nods. No doubt he's set up mines, or runes as they would be called by the mages. May levitate to get out of close combat. It is a possibility. Someone distractive, someone tanky. There is a certain tank in the party who may be up to it. And we all beat him to death. I'm pulling back up the character info for myself so that I can check who has lockpick skills should you go that direction. Jirta is the only one who went into lockpick schools, or skills. Flavius, upon noting that one of your party members who was meant to fill a certain role is not present, a figure steps out from the shadows. Flavius, looking back, nodding. Ah, give me a second, I gotta remember his name. Fatius. It's good that you're here. Fatius looks over at Kanara. Fatius was the leader of the Thieves Guild you guys met. The Thieves Guild wishes to repay our debt. We inadvertently assisted someone we had no business assisting. In order to assist you, and act as our recompense, I will lend, and I emphasize that word, lend, you the skeleton key. He reaches out and hands it to Kanara. This will get you past any locks that you need to get past. With that, he nods at Flavius and goes back to sulking in the shadows. Can I roll damage for smacking the elf on the back of the head? As Zolf mutters under his breath, but loud enough everyone can hear him. Ah, the scum has arrived. Fatius seems to either ignore or not hear what was said. Kanara giving a slight bow as is appropriate for the Khajiit, notice or indicates honor and thanks to the thief. What did I roll? You rolled a 4, Dragonborn. You rolled a 4. Khajiit gets to sneak. Is there anything else you guys would like from me? Flavius taking back over the conversation before I dismiss you. Any fire resistance potions? He nods. I am unable to begin springing from the blades, potions, or gear simply because if we started requisitioning that for mercenaries, it would raise too many bells. While Kralius is a big fish, he is only one of the fish in this. Wow, why am I blanking on it? Is it a swarm of fish? I know it's wrong, but I want it to be an alliteration. So this flock of funky fish who are seeking to undermine the Emperor. I dare not broadcast our move. Rather, have us strike as soon as we're able. After a period of time, just discussion among each and every person, He kind of nods and says, "Then we complete our drink. To our quarrelsome but wholesome crew, I hope none of you are horribly killed." He toasts, and you guys spend the remainder of the evening polishing off your drinks, sharing stories, and in general jesting, though you're not sure if the elf and Victor are going to come to blows. No one really is, though it never occurs. And as darkness begins to fall, you guys go underway. You head out from the foaming flask, across and up, and here you've approached the Arcane University. As you guys walk, you notice that the streets are unusually devoid of people. And what people are walking through the streets, the Imperial guards that are on patrol seem to pull them aside for questioning. All in all, you are unmolested. Bear in mind, the guild is considered friendly, so you will have no issue getting inside. Talking to the guards, they recognize you as someone who has worked for Priscilla before, and as such, you guys are permitted in the gates. Here is where I need anyone who wants to attempt to stealth to separate from the party. Let me go into combat lanes. Cool. Who are our stealth members? I'm gonna assume Katya and Kanara. Yeah, I'm a stealth kappa. That kappa emote is done, by the way. I've got to get it uploaded into Discord, and then after Discord, I'll see if I can get it onto Facebook. Stealth, and who has the key? Currently, Kanara has it. I'll cast Muffle on the one with the lowest stealth skill. If you're casting Muffle, bear in mind you will not regain that magicka before combat begins, because this is all part of the same encounter. Then I won't. They both have high stealth skills regardless. Both of them are at 6 stealth, so yeah. Our other two people who would be able to stealth would be Jirta, who isn't here. Stefan, you're the other person who has stealth skill should you wish to follow, though your stealth skill is 2. But while I wait on that decision, I'm going to stick with the main party. So the two of you, just kind of as a quick little nod to the party, knowing your ways around the academy, having seen a map that was presented to you, you guys dart off and down an apprentice's alley. You guys now will be following through these secretive corridors that connect the various masters' locations. Masters' offices, there's the word I'm looking for. Connect their various offices and allow the apprentices to move and transport things without needing to be out in the courtyard of the academy. It might be 8. That double click? No, okay, apparently I didn't put in an intermediary slide. So you guys don't see any of this, and you're at the door to Cralius's office. Having entered, and with a nod from Priscilla, she turns away and doesn't see anyone entering into the restricted area, as you guys are permitted to approach Cralius's door. Candace Kim, it appears that Cralius did not have any faith in apprentices being able to bypass traps. As such, during your advance, you find the entire corridor untrapped. Though upon arriving at the door, a quick look at it indicates that it is indeed locked. The remainder of the party, you guys are at Cralius's door. What do you want to do? You guys do not have the skeleton key. Kanara is has it in her possession. There we go. I can English today. I swear. Wonder if it's possible to peek through the keyhole? You peek into the keyhole and you see that the lock obscures the mechanism, so you're unable to see anything on the inside. Let's knock and say sweet roll delivery, Victor says. You guys, the two of you stealth are at a back door. The remainder of the party is at the front door. I unlock it slowly and quietly. The back door is prepped for you to enter when you wish. Alright, 2 votes for kick it down. Roll d20, please don't fail me. Rolls a 19. The door, relatively solid, is also unlocked. As such, the typical restraints that would hold the door shut aren't present or aren't secured. As such, the latch holding the door pops and the door swings open. Cralius, at his desk, 2 other vampires off to the side, and a bunch of skeletons facing them, all turn around and face you, the party. Let me roll up initiative. Well, hello there. Cralius, unofficially and non-canonically, nods General Kenobi. So, our initiative is, pull up the combat lanes. We have Zolf, sneaking in about 0.1 seconds after Dorboom. Then we have Victor, walks in darkness. Kayleen. Then we go back to here. Katya, Kanara. So the enemies who do have an initiative rolled up last, which I guess is fitting given that you guys are surprising them. Cralius, Vampire, Vampire, Skeleton, 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 Skeleton. Nope, skeletons are not all in one lane. Because they are... Give me a second. Vampire, Vampire. There we go. Pick a god and pray, Cralius. Zolf, with your superior upbringing and natural high elf talents, you have rolled the highest in initiative. You're up first. What do you want to do? Rally the healing tank? I smell illusion, so I don't know yet. No illusion. None whatsoever. DM is innocent of this crime. Gonna go ahead and cast Turn Undead on one of the vampires. So you're gonna go ahead and need to roll a target. Yeah, 19 out of 20. The vampire is hit by Turn Undead. However, it has more than 8 HP. As such, the spell fails. Blasphemy! Victor, you're up next. I could be the Sairly screen, so what's one lane anyway? One lane away is skeletons. Skeletons in 4, skeletons in 6, vampires, Cralius, and all the way in the back, Katya and Kanara entering in. Oriel, you've cursed me. Oriel's like, know your own strength, you stupid elf. I'm gonna move up, attempt to fight a skeleton. Rolls a 5 to hit. These are shield skeletons, so they have a d20 defense, yet they still manage to roll a 2. As such, the skeleton is hit, and under your orcish war axe, its bones shatter. However, when you step in, there is an eruption of fire underneath you, as you've triggered a flame rune. It hits, because it's rolled high enough on its attack damage that your d10 can't defend. So that's going to be 2 damage flame, burns for 1, so that's going to be 3. Burns for 1 more because you're a vampire, so does 4 points of damage. You're at 4 health. Walks, you're up next. This is why sneaking in is better, the kitties think as they look at each other, look at Cralius, look at each other, give each other a wink wink, nod nod. I'm going to cast Incinerate on the leftmost vampire. So channeling up an expert level spell, you fire it off. The vampire begins chanting an illusion spell as an attempt to counterspell. The counterspell fails, and Incinerate hits its target for 4, 5, 6, 7 points of damage. Left vampire. There we go. You see its red eyes glowing at you in hatred. Kayleen, you're up next. You have angered it, I believe, Kartoffel, the elf says. The Argonian just kind of nodding, but pleased with the impact. Do we see the vampire candle in the middle of the room? Yes. I'll also take actions from Kayleen and Kanara. That is Kayleen, Katya, or Kanara. I am taking actions from all 3. Kayleen closes toward Cralius, keeping herself outside of friendly AoEs. Rolls a d20 arrow at Cralius. Misses. And more correctly, it looks like it would have hit, but it kind of glances off of his flesh without so much as breaking through his robe. You'll need to re-roll stealth. Kayleen, I've got you advanced. You're welcome to start whacking on a skeleton. Kim, as you start advancing toward Cralius, as soon as you enter into the room, d20 stealth, immediate stealthed. As soon as you enter into the room, you feel your fur almost illuminate as a faint light encircles you. And you just see Cralius look back. Ah, attempting to use the back passage. It's a good thing there is an enchant on it that enchants anyone with Detect Life. You see him just kind of chuckle as you have his attention. Stone Skin, It does not look like stone skin. It appears he has ebony flesh up. Then I saw Kayleen's attack. That is enough to hit. Puny skeleton. The sword takes the shield, catches it at the edge, drives it back in, where the sword then skips off, gets into the bone, and easily cuts itself out. The blade was honed to kill Daedra. Rotting bones give it no trouble whatsoever. Kanara fired an arrow. She has not stepped through the entrance. My intent was to have revealed her, and she was going to show it off, but then she stayed where she was and just fired and re-hid. So ironically, that allowed her to remain hidden. Kralius. Turning to... Oh, let's see, what's he going to cast? Yeah, he doesn't need to cast those. Forgot to make my sacrifice to the Lord of RNG. 'Tis a problem, as Kralius is, as of yet, still unwounded. Turning to Katya, you see him begin to power up a lightning enchant as you see the various sparks begin to flow around his arm up into his fingertips, at which point they begin to jet out at your direction. High enough, it's a straight hit. 5 points of lightning damage impact your character. Kralius, my cursed dice. You're down to 2 hit points. The 2 vampires both disappear, while the skeletons move to advance and engage the remainder of the party. We have been blessed by Hepharchus. Our rolls will be better now. Chameleon or invisible? If it were Chameleon, I'd be having you roll a check. Let's see. 1 attacks Victor. Miss. 1 attacks Kayleen. Miss. When they roll a 2, I'm just like, your armor is enough to beat that. 1 is going for Zolth. Zolth, I will need a defensive roll. And 1 goes for Walks. Walks, I will need a defensive roll. Zolth takes a hit from the skeleton's weapon, dealing 2 points of damage. Walks, you're going to only be able to defend with a D10, because I don't think you have a shield. And it's not magical, so you're not able to use a ward for defense. Rolls a 1, takes the 2 points of damage from the skeleton. We are back to party turns. Zolth, you're up first. I'm going to take both of you to training after this, make you sweat. After 2 net roll 1s. Draw staff. Alright, you can do that instead of moving. So you still have your attack. And I'm going to go ahead and regenerate Victor's 2 HP from his vampire clan. Wall of Flames, lane 3. That would be separating the party from Kralius. Do you wish to do that? Instead, Thunderbolt Kralius? Alright, go ahead, roll it up. You see Kralius just kind of form up a ward that he holds up to oppose your cast, and the Thunderbolt arcs off of the ward. He has defended himself. Bear in mind your attack was only a 22, and his defense was a 25. Dragonborn, pause before you start your turn. So, we'll set the scene. Your skin begins to regenerate as the burn wounds begin to heal over. Kralius, seeing this, you see him turn to squint. Thrathi, we have no problems with your clan here. Turn, fight for me, and I can give you power beyond what your clan would ever be able to offer you. Help me slay these fools and we can make our escape. The world deserves to be run by our kind. It is not safe without us. You would be doing all of us a disservice should you continue with your current actions. Do I get to shoot Victor now? What do you want to do? Why should I serve you when I could become powerful myself? Individual power is inconsequential. But we need provincial governors. Send you back to your home province, perhaps. Allow you to take over and have dominion over those who would have taunted you in Skyrim. Nothing will be more satisfying than your head rolling in the ground. Mages can't cast skilled speech checks on non-magic users. He is a mage. Dragonborn, being a vampire, has destruction and illusion. Alright, what do you do on your turn, Dragonborn? I'ma strike a skeleton. Roll to hit. That is a hit. Another skeleton falls, and we move on. Walks and Kayleen. I'll take actions from either of you. Thunderbolt on Kralius. Go ahead and roll up your hit. What restoration does Big Daddy have? I feel disgraced. He doesn't have super powerful restoration. He just has enough to defend himself in a magical duel. As I think he's only casting up to... Alright, if you want an answer, he has adept level restoration. There you go. 15, 20. He raises up ward again. However, this time it is insufficient. And the Thunderbolt just arcs around it and impacts him. Let me scroll over to get Thunderbolt damage. 4 points of damage, drains 2 of his magicka. Kayleen, you told me what you were doing. Let me scroll up and find it. Heavy attack, first with a powerful shield bash, followed by a slice downward with the sword. Taking the shield, you parry your opponent's shield across their body, leaving the entire skeleton's side up, and the powerful strike lands home, collapsing the right side of the body for the skeleton. On Kralius, you can't get to Kralius. Even if you move twice, you'd still be outside of melee range. Ariel's gonna be questioned in elf prayers tonight. Katya, you are the first to reach Kralius. On foot. I don't know why I was calling you K. You're Kat. I will take actions for both you and Kanara. Kanara still being stealthed. D20 at Kralius again. That time it's gonna be a hit. The arrow, as he turns to face Kim and defend against her attacks, the arrow catches him just above the shoulder, knocking him to a side. And then Kim, that is going to be a hit and a hit on both. So let me get up the total damage that he just received. Because, yeah, that's a lot of damage. Candace, I need a re-stealth from you. He rolled a nat 20 on his perception. You need to nat 20 your stealth. Close, but not enough. Wait, where are the vampires? That's a very good question. That said, between the two kitties, 5, 10, then Candy on range, dealing 12. He's staggered, because the 12's not enough to kill him, or take him down. But the 2 hits then stagger him. So just out of nowhere, he's busy focusing on the rest of you. The arrow and then double stabs, and he's just on the ground just, okay, that hurt. At which point you see an amulet that is on Kralius's person. Snap. And all of a sudden you see some sort of healing spell fire off on him. He's still staggered, but you don't know what health he is at. Alright, Kralius is up. Continuing his spell focus, he focuses his efforts on Kim. That's a hit, because he has his destruction level plus 11 against the D10 defense. So he's going to do 5 more damage to Kim, which is going to stagger her. One of the vampires, the one that was wounded, reappears next to Kanara. I'm pulling up his attack because I forgot that it's not on the spells that I'd pulled up because he's using a vampire-specific attack. Candace, I need you to give me a defensive roll as the vampire gazes deep into your kitty eyes. As he gazes deep into your eyes, you realize that he is only the most beautiful of vampires. In fact, he is the best of vampires. Why would you? You don't even care about him. He's harmless. He's your pet now. And maybe he never existed. Maybe he's your imaginary friend. Your brain becomes swarmed with thoughts. At which point, they are a different clan that is not noted. As such, we'll tell you what happens when it gets to your turn. Victor, the other one, is going to appear here. And I need you... Who got vampire seduced? Kanara. Candace. Well, Victor's the one who's rolling defense right now. I didn't update your gear? Oops, I thought I did. I'll just do 1 extra damage. Rolls an 8. The last thing you hear, Victor, is fine. If you won't serve us willingly. And then you just see the most magnificent, the most beautiful, the most gallant, dashing vampire who you wouldn't hurt for anything. He's just the most precious thing. He's got a certain manly swagger to him that, yes, he's undead, but looks pretty good. Looks pretty good for a vampire. One skeleton attacks Zolf. That's the wrong roll, but I rolled a d20 and rolled a 1, so I'm not going to re-roll it. So Zolf, I don't need a defense from you. Walks, I do need a defense from you, because there's an 11 to hit you. I'm checking your defense skill now. Oh, 0 defense. Is that true? 0 defense is true, so that is still going to be a hit. As such, you are dropped to 0 and staggered. Not your armor defense upgrade? Got it. It didn't matter there, given that it was magical in nature, but I will note that for the future. Wait though, do you have a defense? Who is staggered? Walks and Katya. Can't I parry with a dagger? Yes you can. So you are welcome to roll a d20. I keep forgetting about parrying melee with dagger, because very few of our mages actually have daggers for parrying. Then I should have blocked last hit. You're going to need to roll a d20, because parry requires a d20. You can roll up twice, and we'll revisit what the previous one was and this one, because you've got the stamina for it. So the first one, no difference, so no change. Second one, it is blocked, so this one did not hit. So you're still fine here. So still 2 hit points. Walks is not staggered. You looked like he was going to be hit, but he just feigned him in where he was able to grab with the dagger and just parry at the last minute. We go back to the beginning. Zolf, you're up. You have 2 magicka remaining. Drink potato, restore 3. Alright, you do that instead of moving. You're up to 5. Your potions are vodka based? I mean, in The Witcher, all the potions are alcohol based. Just chug some runny mashed potatoes, just chug, chug, chug. That would be glorious. And disgusting, because runny mashed potatoes? Incinerate Vampire Lane 3. Roll to hit. This will be their second counter spell, which is going to fail. As such, 7 points of damage, as the flames engulf the vampire, it screeching in pain. Victor, I need you to melee attack Kayleen. Roll up a power attack. I'll refuse. I will roll. Rolls a 12. Kayleen, you can see Victor coming at you. You see that his eyes have glazed over black. And you see red tendrils, ethereal, so see-through, kind of extending from his head back toward the vampire, where you see the tendrils kind of extending off of his fingers. When did this become Invasion of the Body Snatchers? When the vampires showed up. Kayleen, I'm going to need a defensive roll from you. You need to roll higher than a 2. No sectoids. So raising your shield and putting your energy behind it, it's clear Victor is not fighting as his full self. You parry the blow, and you are fine. Walks, you're up next. Victor, you are attempting to regain control of your mind. There will be another attack rolled by the vampire next turn that you will be attempting to defend against. My, what nice thanks you have. Incinerate the vampire controlling him. Rolls a 9. Walks. Incinerate. Arcs over. Let me get the magicka stuff pulled up because I need to subtract the magicka. Using up the remainder of your magicka, impacts the vampire, and you see it evaporate into dust with the incinerate. Victor is no longer seduced. Kayleen, seeing Victor come back to his senses, there's 2 skeletons back here fighting Zolf and Walks. Then there's also Kralius up here in lane 1. Walks in darkness, looks over at Victor as Victor looks back. You are welcome, Victor. Are they having trouble with the skeletons? Yes. They have both taken damage from the skeletons once. Your drinks are on me, Argonian, the Nord says as he shakes his head trying to clear it. Rolls a 4. As you go to hit, the skeleton just puts up its shield. And this time you're not sure if it was just it hit the perfect angle. And you also didn't put a lot of force into the blow. The skeleton parries your attack. Katya, I'll take an action from you. You've gone for d20. You do have 4 points of stamina. You also didn't heal you? No, I didn't. I will get that corrected. Staring at the vampire next to her. Bat, bat, bat. Bat, bat, bat. Kanara sees only the beauty in life. There is one thing that you can do that would make your vampire fling most incredibly happy. You are welcome to roll an attack, or correction. You are forced to roll an attack against Katya. Gonna attack Kralius for my party. Go ahead and go for it. Hit. 10 points of damage, d20. Forced power attack. Oh, wait, forgot. Kralius has stone skin. That gets his defense up to 10. Okay, that defends 1. So he's taken 5. Herpter, gotta remember his own spells. Katya, I need you to roll a d10 defense versus Candace's attack. That is a 18 attack. Your defense is 2. That's gonna be a hit. Roll 10. Farkas, be with me. Rolled a 10. Well, let me double check. 17 versus defense of 2. Even with a perfect roll, you weren't expecting an arrow from behind, and the last thing you see is Kanara's charmed face. Seeing you fall, she smiles and looks over at the vampire who she bats her eyes some more, and you fall to unconsciousness. Farkas is gonna be my totem in this game. He's a good totem. He's a lucky totem. Farkas, are you lucky? You're lucky. Is there any way to regain magicka? Potions. Oh, he got away. Your luck has fled from you. Kralius, you see a restoration spell flash around him as he removes the 5 points of damage he has taken. Kanara, I need you to roll me a d10 defense again versus magic. There is a total of 18 to hit. I don't believe your armor adds 10. No, upping your gear by 1, meaning your defense adds 8. So that's 16 versus 20. I believe it's plus 8? Yeah, plus 8. If we headbonk the cat, will she stop getting seduced? She might go unconscious. That would stop her from being seduced, yes. The 2 skeletons, one attacks Kayleen. I will make Kanara feel really bad even if I do survive. Kayleen, no need to defend. Even with your 1, your armor is enough that its weapon just can't hurt you without a crit. And it didn't crit. The second one is going to go for Zolth. 6 to attack. Zolth, I need a 4 or higher. That is a successful defense as you get out of the way of a sword as it clumsily just starts swinging. It intends to murder, but it's more like a Roomba that's just been given a knife and told kill everything. You're back up. I'll take actions from Zolth, Victor, and Walks. Is fancy vampire Beth there staggered? No. This vampire is not staggered. Victor, move 1, attack a skeleton. Go for it. Rolls a 2. The skeleton puts up its shield with a defense of 11. Now you fail me. Yep. Dragonborn's weapon parried off. But you also didn't put pressure behind it. This is what you get for not using stamina. This is what you get. Pimley would be having your heads right now. Drink potato of magic plus 3. Alright, you're up to 4 magic. You have enough for 1 expert level spell. Saving my stamina for Kralius. If I had any potions, I'd sip. We'll go ahead. I'm pretty sure there was still one other magical one floating around. But you also have 0s. That wouldn't be enough there. Dual cast Lightning Bolt. Go ahead and roll up your attack. Kralius attempts to ward. You'd have to roll really terribly to miss. That's going to be a hit. Dual cast on Lightning Bolt does... Oh, I'm still on Vampire Magic. This is one of the things I'm looking forward with 2.0. I have it organized better for myself. Yeah, we'll give you 3 magicka back, because I'm pretty sure Pimley had 1 potion that he had himself, and we'll say he handed over to you before we got to it. Unlimited power. Lightning Bolt. Let's see, that's Restoration. Lightning Bolt is Destruction. Illusion. There we go. So 4 damage, drains 2 points of magicka. Walks, you have 3 magicka, and cannot move because you're quaffing a potion. And Kayleen, I'll take actions from you as well. I'm gonna cast Flames on the skeleton. Go for it. 4 versus 7 plus your Destruction. Roasty Toasty, Skelly dead. Can't come up with a way to make that rhyme. So Roasty Toasty, Skelly dead. Aisha rolling a D2 versus a Skelly versus a 10 defense. Aisha just using the skeleton almost as a training dummy. Just going like, okay, basic parry, basic strike. And the skeleton, being a dummy, is able to defend itself against these basic attacks. Roasty toasty, bones are burnty. Kanara, the vampire, sensing that you have the deepest desire to shoot Victor, roll a power attack versus Victor. Nat 1! Nat 1! Does not roll a nat 1. Rolls a 10 plus 11. That's a 21 to hit. Plot twist, I pull out my dragger, try to parry. Roll your well, no, you can't roll a defense high enough without a shield. So yeah, disregard. Arrow strikes in. Victor takes 6 points of damage. You can see the vampire in the back sneering at you. As again, Kanara will attempt to free her mind. Kralius sees everyone in one lane. At which point you see him just pull up a fireball and release it into lane 5. I need defenses from everyone present. Kartoffel warding up. That means you're gonna cast it or roll a d10. Roll d10 defense. You don't need to, Candace. You're fine. Skeleton fails his defense and the skeleton is roasted. You get a d20 defense with ward, Kartoffel. Aisha pulls up her shield. Insufficient. And we're looking at 4 points of damage, right? Yeah. Drops you to 3. Dragonborn 6, insufficient. Drops you to 0, staggered. Drops you more than 0, but you're staggered. Because you take 4 damage off of it. Can't roll a ward. So D10, 3, insufficient. Hits for 3 damage on, what's the name? Walks. You are staggered. Do I need to? Nope, you're far enough back. It's only hitting lane 5. You dropped in lane 1. Kartoffel's ward is sufficient. And so you see them you see it coming, you just put up your ward, and the firebolt arcs off of your section. The rest of everyone, well, they got hit. 'Tis but a flesh wound. Candace, the vampire attempts to control you again. However, this time it only has a 15. Which means you can possibly defend and get out of it here. Your defense is plus armor. You need to roll a 5 or higher on a d10, Kanara. And then you're no longer seduced. Or you can roll lower and just keep taking down party members. You've been the most effective enemy I can throw at the party right now. Farkas feet, Farkas feet, Farkas feet, Farkas feet, Farkas feet. Rolls the dice. And nat ones. Zolf, you're up. She's doing love. Am I able to cast a non-lethal spell for free? No, you are not. She wants to marry, she wants kids, all the balls of yarn in a box. Exactly. Did I just turn into the boss? Equilibrium? You're free to cast Equilibrium, yes. You can pull up to 3 of your health into Magicka, though that will stagger you. Did she fire on someone? She took down Victor to staggered last time. She knocked you down and then staggered Victor. Can also attack after? You cannot, no. Equilibrium is your turn. She hit you, well, technically it was for 6, but ultimately it didn't matter. Didn't stagger? No. She did, oh that's right, she didn't stagger you. Kralius' fireball did. So just gonna move forward too? Got it. I'll take any other action you do. I'll also take actions from Victor and walks. Victor heals for 2. Note that does not remove the staggered condition. You just now have some health. I'll cry as my action. I'm move 2 as well. Ah, yes. Everyone just move 2. This is not going to repeat what happens last time. Walks. Wait, no, I'm going to move 1. Okay, I'll give you your point of stamina back then. Because moving 2 takes you a point of stamina. Kayleen will be leaving that lane as well. I'm saving stamina. I forgot about that. Cast Firebolt with the last of my Magicka. Rolls a 9. His ward is he puts up a lesser ward. It is insufficient. As such, it does hit. Does normally, I think it's, 2 points of damage? Then burns for 1 point of health? Yeah, so it's normally 3, does 4 because Kralius is a vampire. Kayleen, you're next. Oh wait, did I see something different? On the vampire, got it. The vampire is staggered. Yep, I saw it. I got you. And yes, Candace, you are freed via the stagger. So, before your eyes, you lose the love of your life. And replaced by the love of your life is a vampire who is gasping and wheezing and clutching a burning wound that is up on the back of his shoulder. I'll take actions from both Kayleen and Kanara. Wait, no, I saw Kayleen's action up there. I'll take Kanara's action. Move 1, drink potion to heal for 3. Got it. You're back up to 6. And Candace, you have free action on what you would like to do with your own life. Though I can't guarantee that continues if the vampire gets another action. And she sees her bust bud lying on the floor with an arrow in her back. That's true.
Thank you.
Rolls D20 on Seducey Butt Nugget that made me shoot my friends. Rolls 17. Yeah, that's gonna be a hit. In your own... Vampire Seducey Butt Nuggets is now dead. Dissolving into ash at the end of your arrows. Kralius disappears. Your turn, Zolf. Equilibriuming 2, moving 1. Victor. Here we go again. I'ma stay put. So you begin just kind of looking around, waiting for it to him to show up anywhere. Walks. Oh, and Dragonborn heals too, so you're up to 4. Kayleen is singing under her breath. When Akatosh slew Lorkhan, he ripped his heart right out and hurled it across Tamriel. and the heart was hers to shout. Red diamond, take heart and soul of men. Red diamond, protect us until the end. Moral support, shadow support to Kanara. Nice to have you back! This one is appreciative of your arrows. Kayleen, praying under her breath. I will take a d20 roll from Victor, Kayleen, and Walks. Your goal is to get higher than a 12. Kanara, I'll also take whatever action you have. Sorry, feeling again rigged. Fails you again. Completely rigged. Can I roll perception? Go for it. You've got perception trained, so that's a d20 roll. Plus 2 if I recall correctly. 18. So this all happens simultaneously. Perception being your action instead of moving. You will get the opportunity to take a shot. Kayleen, you feel the slightest air currents as it appears someone is running by you, though silent and invisible, and they are heading toward the entrance of the room. Candace, you could see the faint outline of some obscured individual making for the door. You are welcome to take a shot. 9, that is sufficient, as his defense was a total 7. He rolled a 3 because he doesn't have an active defense versus you. As such, he is hit, and what you see is sliding up to the door, Kralius collapses with an arrow that has caught him in the back of the neck, the point jutting out. His eyes briefly gazing around the room as his body dissolves into ash. Kralius is no more. At this point, what you guys hear is the sound of armed guards moving within the academy. Briefly, you're able to see the face of Priscilla, the mage, looking in. Those of you who are unconscious, you're back up. She looks in, passes out a healing pot quickly, and she says, if I were you, the guards are coming seeking to arrest those responsible for the assault against the academy. Get your things and go out through the apprentice's exit. I will make sure that they are suitably delayed here. At which point she heads out of the room and up to her office. I walk over to Kanara and say, could you take this out? Looking at Kanara with kitty eyes that says, this is your responsibility. Kayleen, taking haste, heads out the back entrance, using what's last of Kralius' robes on the floor to clean off her sword before sheathing it. I'ma stay. I'ma tell him I was delivering sweet rolls. Khajiit is so sorry. Khajiit will help once we outside. We need to move before Khajiit's get in more trouble. So, moving out, Khajiit is slowly picking the armor out. I'll stay and explain things to the guard. Speech time. Victor heads out the door. I do not wish to get involved with the Imperial Law again. Not since Oblivion. Zolf out the back door. I will encourage you... Walks, you're a member. Are you the one who's the member of the Academy? One of you is a member of the Academy. Arcane University. Oh, Zolf is. No, unfortunately. I will give you the DM. These are not Academy personnel. I would recommend leaving. The Argonians are not well thought of by the Imperials, and whether you like it or not, it's likely the blame will be placed on you. So, you're welcome to stay. However, your Argonian brain realizes that that is not... There will be speech checks. They will be high. Slowpokes, let's go, Kanara says, sitting at the door, skeleton key in hand. What's the religious bonus for pledging to Akatosh? I believe it's 1 to each attribute. Greetings, Paul. Welcome to RPG Day. Alright. Walks, heads out the door. The door's shut. The skeleton key clicking. The lock is refastened. As you guys head out, you hear guards looking around. Looks like there was a vampire attack, though it appears they attempted to turn the Archmage. Pull this thing apart, at which point you guys can hear the back door. Apprentice's quarters are locked. Looks like he still has the key. They must have slipped out this way, and you can hear them moving around and beginning to tear things apart. The last thing you hear, however, is some commander, or someone who is giving orders. Ah, Kralius, my friend. Your work was complete, but it appears so was your usefulness to our cause. We will remember you when we take over. and knowing that it is futile to turn back, you head out. Returning to the foaming flask, Flavius is in the basement, and sure enough, he has enough for each one of you to retire. More money than you ever imagined you would be able to get. The Empire salutes you today. You've done your job. This hasn't dismantled the entire threat to the Emperor. I am aware of that. However, in a small bit, they've been set back. And with each setback, we buy ourselves time. I'll be moving on, continuing my work with the Blades. The rest of you, enjoy your retirement. Lol, Paul. I offer half of my payment to Katya. Kitty is sorry, Kitty. Kitty don't mean to hurt other Kitty. Kitty is innocent. In the area, Fatius shows up, motions that he would like his skeleton key back, and after reclaiming the key, he heads out. Should there be anything you wish to put into the epilogue for your characters, feel free to either type it out in brief now, as I'm not going to read any long paragraphs, but you're welcome to discuss with any of the various other people who are present, or say what your character is heading off to do. Walks is staring at the table for a while, then is going to begin to speak. It is times that we part ways. This Argonian has enjoyed the time here. Dragonborn says, you two, we need to get training. Looking at Walks and Zolf. Walks nods and says, understand, but there is business in the marsh and I must return home. Zolf's heading back and he's going to wash ashore in Valenwood. Kanara, I too shall wander on. Nowhere specific if anyone has need of a Khajiit companion. Kayleen steps up. Flavius, I'm still in my prime. It's hard for me just to go and stand back. He nods. I understand. You're of Nord blood. We could use people like you up in Skyrim. Your life here would surely be brought to an improper end. Head north. I'll meet you at Morthal. There'll be work we can do up there chasing down Daedra. The Blades will have use for you. I'm returned to my family home and says ended the long family curse, but it has taken a cost. And with that, the now Thrafy vampire Victor Bloodfallen departs. The two Khajiit, having understood what was in play, have set off to make mischief then. Noting your affiliations, the Dark Brotherhood will have use for you, and you make haste toward the sanctuary that, Sithis willing, is still intact. The Blades will use you for about 2 years and then they all get dead. Hush now, hush now. We don't know what happens. I'm in for the next campaign. Take care. Next week, we will have a session where we're going to talk all about our 2.0 and get official names of who wants to be involved. And then we can walk through what character creation looks like and how the new balance changes have affected things. I got to shoot Victor. No apologies. No need to apologize. Everyone is happy. Everyone is happy. Next week is too long. We can look over it now, but we'll do it. What do I have? All right, before I promise, what do I have to do today? I've already recorded my Tesla video. What? 50 stars for a campaign well done. Thank you, Candace. 'Tis appreciated.